Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Will's Mediumship and Numerology channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscription. Okay, so I have an amazing discussion that I'd like to share with you guys today. And basically, I'm going to be doing another seance or a mediumship interview, if you will. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest, the one and only Michael Joseph Jackson, also known as the King of Pop. Prior to getting into this reading, I just like to just highlight what he was as a figure prior to his death. He was not only, ladies and gentlemen, a very successful American singer. He was a songwriter, a dancer, as well as a philanthropist. Okay? We do know, ladies and gentlemen, that based on the evidence, Jackson died of heart failure, or, as reports indicated, acute propofol intoxication. Okay? And we do also know that the doctor involved in this matter was sentenced, okay? And sentenced to 4 years. I really feel that he kind of got off easily here with this case here. All right. So what I'd like to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just to channel Mr. Jackson and I'm going to ask him a few questions, just as I asked with the last interview or mediumship type seances that I've already performed. If you guys like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with others to whom you think might benefit, ladies and gentlemen, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings, okay? So with that said, I like to just start off by just saying a quick prayer just to get my mind set in tune and so that I can really hear the messages that Mr. Jackson really wants to impart to us here. Okay? So, dear God, dear Holy Spirit, dear deceased relatives, and all of my angels, I ask that you watch over this experience, making certain only the messages of God will come through. Please protect both Mr. Jackson and myself from malevolent energies. Please help me release my own ego fears so that I can clearly see, clearly hear, clearly feel, and know the messages that Mr. Jackson wants the world at large to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select 3 tiles for my dominoes here, and I'm going to allow Mr. Jackson to direct my hands to the appropriate 3 dominoes that best describes his attributes, okay? So let's see. Give it a quick second. All right. Okay, he's ready, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go on and just allow him to guide me to the relevant tiles here to select. He's saying I pull towards this one here. Okay. Let's select he wants this one. All right. And let's get this bottom one here, he's telling me. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put these away. And we're going to examine each of the tiles individually, and then I'm going to combine the numeric energy here to see if we can derive at something else regarding his attributes, okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, we have a 1, ladies and gentlemen, as well as a 2 here. So, of course, with the 1, that almost is just like the Fool card, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Jackson certainly was a risk taker, okay? He was a leader, okay? He knew what he wanted. He really didn't care what really other people thought, okay? Even though it hurt him, okay? He was a driving force, okay? As we all have seen here, he really impacted the world at large here. I also feel Mr. Jackson seemed to have had the proclivity to be very impatient, okay? He wanted his thing, whatever he wanted it. He didn't want to wait for it, you know? And having the two here, ladies and gentlemen, that also shows that he was very, very sensitive, very emotional. His feelings got hurt quite a bit here, I'm kind of getting. But it looks like that he was a very domestic type person. He certainly loved, things of the home, beautifying his surroundings. I'm kind of getting here that he's saying. Okay, let's look at the next tile, ladies and gentlemen. We have a one, so that further emphasizes, ladies and gentlemen, that this man certainly was very, very independent with his thinking, okay? And he took risks, unlike what others may have done here. And having this five here, that tells me that he certainly did like sex a lot. I'm kind of getting here. He was very adventurous. But with this five, ladies and gentlemen, it brings about a lot of chaotic situations, okay, to our lives here. But it certainly shows that he had a very, very friendly personality. And Mr. Jackson seemed to have loved reading and, researching. I'm getting quite a bit. Let's go on and just look at the next tile here. We have a number two once again, and that further emphasizes the fact that Mr. Jackson definitely was very, very an emotional, sensitive type person, feelings easily hurt, okay? And it seems that his drive was, it seems that while he was a bit spiritual, I feel that he was a little bit more materialistic, I'm getting, or he was always concerned about money, I'm getting, or the lack thereof, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's go on and just combine all of the numbers that we have here and see if we can derive another number that we can add to what has already been said here. We know that we have 3, right? And we add 5 more, ladies and gentlemen, that makes 8, then 9, 10, 11, right? 14. So that 1 plus 4 is 5 here. So that again, it further emphasizes the fact that his life was very chaotic. He was very adventurous. He loved to travel and certainly loved sex, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So now let's gain more insight from Michael himself to see what messages that he'd like to share with us. And in doing so, ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to, at first I was going to select the King of Cups to represent him due to his very friendly type nature, ladies and gentlemen. But this man had a lot of challenges in life, and he was often judged quite a bit. And I would even say that even judged unfairly, okay? So with that said, I've decided to select the Judgment card to represent him. And look, it's right here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So I'm going to channel some message through this card here. Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind, if you like this reading, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that you receive all future readings, okay? So, immediately, ladies and gentlemen, let me just get a better feel for this card. And I will be posting a review on how to teach you how to tap into your psychometric powers here, psychometry, which is what I'm doing here. Okay, in order to feel energies that spirit wants you to know. So by feeling that card, I'm kind of getting a very strong sense that he's telling me that he was always fighting for his rights, I'm getting. And I feel that I chose the correct card here. Because he's showing me a lot of conflict. Remember here in his reading, you have this 5 here, which I showed you, that he was saying all of the conflict. And all of the numbers added up to 14, which reduces to 5. So that further emphasizes that it was a lot of conflict, strife, ladies and gentlemen. Much opulence, I'm getting. It seems that it was also an external conflict that he might have experienced with those even of the same sex, he's telling me, ladies and gentlemen. He's showing me arguments and legal problems and being torn in multiple directions here. Okay? And all of this is saying that it seems that this he was experiencing all of this prior to his death here. All right? And he's also telling me there was a struggle prior to his death. And this really it angers him even now, ladies and gentlemen. He's showing me several whose vicious tricks, ladies and gentlemen, contributed to his ultimate demise. And I'm kind of getting a strong sense that he's having a hard time forgiving and hard time really moving on. He knows he's dead, but he's having a hard time moving on here. I'm also feeling that he's really mourning a lot because he feels that his talents were wasted. I'm getting here, which of course we all know that it wasn't. And Mr. Jackson, you have to understand that everything certainly happens for a reason. And once you cross that veil, Mr. Jackson, you'll certainly discover that truth. Okay? So, Mr. Jackson, let's go on to our just to get more acquainted with you. Tell me a bit more about yourself, what you really want to share with us. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, he feels very adrift, very lonely, insecure, I'm getting, and weird. And he's worrying a big deal, quite a bit, I'm getting. Particularly, it looks like he's worrying a lot about his money. Remember, I said that he's with the dominoes, he was concerned a lot with the acquisition of money or lack thereof. And he's kind of saying that he's really concerned how his money is being utilized, I'm getting. He says, nevertheless, that despite what others may have thought of him, he constantly faced a myriad of financial challenges, ladies and gentlemen, as well as mental type struggles too that I'm feeling, that he suffered. He's giving me this strong indication that he's very depressed and he wants the world, ladies and gentlemen, to view that money never really brought him happiness. It brought him quite the opposite, okay? And this should be a lesson he's saying to those of you who think that money will bring you happiness, because it ain't. That's exactly what he just said, okay? Now, let's go on and just move on to our next question, Mr. Jackson, okay? We know how you died here, and of course, the Dr. Conrad was penalized for doing this, and you did mention that there were others involved here. Can you give me more information about that? Ladies and gentlemen, he's showing me a woman that might have been connected as well, a business type woman. I'm picking up a fire type sign energy. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, okay? And this woman appears to have been very jealous, I'm getting. But it looks like prior to his death, Michael also, along with a myriad of other health issues, he also suffered from an arthritic type condition too that I'm getting. Okay. So Michael, just moving right along to our next question. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Spirits do tend to make their presence known in a variety of ways, and we've already concluded, Mr. Jackson, that you have not yet taken that step over or across that veil here. How do you make your presence known? Okay. He says, ladies and gentlemen, that he quietly, because he was very silent, he's given me in life, and really didn't want people to know what he was really up to, like secretive type personality here. And he's showing me coins that he throws to his family and friends, and they find them when they least expect it or when there's a need. And he's showing me very, very subtle signs that he sends to his family, okay? So it's not going to be something that is going to be shocking. But it's just very subtle things that I'm seeing here. So, Michael, what else would you like us to know here? Wow. he's giving me further insight into why he doesn't want to move on here. He's telling me, ladies and gentlemen, that he seems he's waiting, ladies and gentlemen, on a lover or possibly a loved one to kind of cross over to join him before he feels he's able to move on and good confidence getting. And it could potentially, ladies and gentlemen, be a lover because he's showing me a person too from a different background where he lost his connection with this person. So it could be a lover, and I'm kind of feeling, ladies and gentlemen, it is a male here that's kind of showing here, or it could just simply be his family that he's waiting to reunite with one another. So, Michael, based on your response here, can I at least assist you to in terms of helping you to move on? He's saying it depends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting. Because he really wants to really reunite with living relatives and loved ones. And he's happy that after his passing, he was able to provide a safe haven for his family. It seems to be a younger man that's surrounding him right now here that I'm kind of getting that may have preceded him in death. Possibly an air sign type personality, a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, I'm feeling. Michael, could you tell me something that may have occurred within your family or your friend setting that I more than likely wouldn't know here? Okay. He's showing me someone whose talents are shining, I'm getting. Okay. Someone being recognized, ladies and gentlemen, or someone who may have just received or will receive some type of certification or honor. Even a new home, I'm kind of feeling. Whomever this person is, he or she is a perfectionist and worked hard to kind of make his or her dreams come true. And Michael is very overwhelmed with seeing this here. So this is something that really the family will have to confirm, or friends that who know him will have to confirm. Okay. And ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, what I like to do is just to close this reading with 555, I'm sorry, final messages that Michael would like to share to family or to the loved ones here or to the world at large, because lots of people really love this man here. Okay. So Michael, this is more of a happy belated type birthday interview session for you. I had every intention of doing this sooner here, but I'm also just getting over a death, ladies and gentlemen. I lost my father about a week ago. So it's been kind of tough for me too. So let's go on and get started here. Michael, give us 5 final messages that you like to share with the world, as well as to your family here, to provide some type of closure, okay, and some solace, hopefully. Let's see. All right. He's certainly saying his mind is free. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the card that we selected from the onset here? Judgment. A very chaotic card. Someone is always judging you. Michael said, to hell with that. His mind is now free. Okay. Next message. He's certainly he wants his family to know, just as I have told you. He sends subtle signs, but those signs seem to be coming more so from nature, like a butterfly or just you seeing birds or things of that nature. Okay. Next message. He certainly is saying if he had only known then what he knows now, he certainly would have lived his life differently. Isn't that true for most of us, ladies and gentlemen? We certainly learn what we perhaps should have done when we do kind of cross over here and we're having a chance to just sit in that video room, if you will, and just really just see what it is that we experienced on earth when we were here. All right. Next message. He wants to be forgiven. He wants to apologize, ladies and gentlemen.